Hello and welcome to the coverage of the Akshayakalpa Karnataka State Chess Championship being held in Bengaluru. It began today. My name is Atreyo Mukhopadhyay. I am covering this for Checkmate Daily. With me is what many call the man behind the tournament and the man behind the resurgence of chess in Karnataka in the last few years. Here is Mr. Sushrutha Reddy, who started as a player, then became an arbiter, then became a coach, and now is a very busy organizer. Mr. Reddy, welcome to this issue.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about the evolution of Karnataka in the last 5 years.
I must say, the last 34 years.
Right?
So, in the 1990s, when I entered chess, there were mostly veterans who were taking part, and there were hardly any few children taking part in tournaments. And that is something that I actually questioned myself. And the key was pushing chess across schools. And this is where chess lacked in Bangalore at that particular point of time. And at that time, I was only 11 years old when I entered chess in 1992. And destiny ended up making me push chess across schools much later, but I'll come down to that later. And our generation actually, they did not get much opportunities. I don't want to get into the history behind that. And for me, I wanted children to actually get into chess. I felt if one child celebrates chess in one class, it could infect various other children and even his neighbors, and probably through his neighbors, maybe other schools also would actually take up chess. This is what I dreamt when I entered chess coaching in 2003. So even in 2003, for example, in state under 7 chess championships, we used to get about 6 to 10 entries, which was extremely less. And things started changing from the year 2005, and that is when not 2005 but 2006. So that is when the United Karnataka Chess Association was formed, and credit goes to a group of people at that point of time, Mr. Hanumanta and Arvind Shastri in particular, and they galvanized the chess forces, and Bangalore chess started picking up from that particular point of time, from 2006 onwards.
Mr. Hanumanta used to be your coach, your mentor, I've heard.
He pulled me into chess, he pleaded with me to get into chess coaching, and that was an accidental incident that happened, because the person who was supposed to teach on that particular day, he left to Vijayawada, and I accidentally became a coach. This was in 2006, April 6th, and he was the one who actually pushed me to become an arbiter. I was India's youngest to become an arbiter, and those days we used to have only one arbiter in the tournament, and I was 18 years old when I became a chief arbiter. And the travesty is that when I wrote the exam, I was the last in terms of the ranking list, and I became the most active arbiter from 1999 until 2003. In 2003, I shifted to Chennai temporarily, and that is when I stopped arbitrage. Arbitrage is something which I never enjoyed. I got bored up.
But that is what I want to come into, because I have heard about you that you started your academy, the Innovators Chess Academy.
Yes.
And after that, you sort of changed the concept of organizing tournaments in Karnataka. I mean, you were saying that it was very difficult to get 6 or 7 kids in the junior championships, and the state championships were played mostly by veterans. Now, when I see here, there's a sea of really young kids. I mean, there's so many of them. I mean, some of them are 7, 8 years old. I mean, there are so many of them. So how satisfying is that?
So it was a process.
Would you call it a success of yours?
I wouldn't say a success of mine. Rather, I would say a success of forces who came together, who became part of the ecosystem and made Bangalore chess what it is today.
So building this ecosystem is equally important.
Extremely. You cannot just attribute it to just one single
Yeah,
person.
we need like-minded people, hard-working people.
Yes, that is the whole point. A lot of people actually came forward at that particular point of time. So,
And I just once again, if I may interrupt again, I was having a chat with you a few days back when you said that your goal or one of your ideas is to provide proper playing conditions and facilities to the players, because earlier things were not that good. Now we can see that in such a posh area in an AC hall these players are playing. Everything is so well or smoothly running. So that must be a bit of a satisfaction.
of course, it is a satisfaction because you're seeing the quality getting better and better. And there were times when we used to celebrate 100 entries in Bangalore. So today it's like 500 is a norm. And most of the events are being organized across malls in Bangalore. So
Earlier those were corporate schools, government schools,
yes,
the venues.
yes,
In many places, not everywhere.
yes. So coming back to the age aspect which you raised, it was a steady process. So earlier it was the 30-year-olds, 30 plus year olds who were winning. Then steadily it came down to the 20s and the teenagers. I was waiting for a child to actually dominate the open era, the open events. And that started happening. Today it's like a regular. See, today in the first round, we had a couple of upsets. And board number 7, we had a kid who is aged less than 11, who went on to hold Balkishan, who is a very seasoned player, who is actually one of the favorites to win this event.
The second seed.
The 7th seed.
7th is Augustine.
Sorry, the 7th seed is Augustine. He was actually the Karnataka State Champion 2 years back.
And his 9-year-old boy, Vihan.
Vihan
he drew
Sinha.
with him.
Yes, he drew with him. And board number 2 right now, I think it's adjourned, Balkishan. And I heard that he is also in trouble.
Yeah, he is.
It effectively means that we are actually celebrating chess. So that is what it means to me. So the neighboring states have already been established. And if you look at the fact that 20 years back the under 7 section used to have 6 to 10 entries, and now we are having 300 entries. It is a clear indicator of growth.
The bigger the pool, the greater chances of success.
And more importantly, we actually need to attribute this success to schools in Bangalore as well who are promoting chess. So they are also playing a huge role.
Are you in touch with the schools in terms of devising programs?
I have been fortunate to work with 6 schools simultaneously, apart from being in charge with another school as well. And the first school that I actually work with is called Gear Innovative International School. And I still have a relationship going on with Gear. So we still promote chess. Of course, I'm not teaching, but I still make sure that chess is being taught at Gear Innovative International School. So it is not easy that you find somebody working in 6 schools simultaneously. So I feel fortunate to do this. And it was my dream as a teenager. I would wonder that if I teach in one school, let's say there are 1,000 students, if at least there will be at least 50 to 100 who take to chess, then the number of entries in the tournaments that we organize in Bangalore will increase. That was my dream, because we used to have very less entries those days. I would compare it with the neighboring states. I wouldn't feel good about it. So I understood that the schools are where we needed to practice the chess. Of course, there were challenges. Coaches did not want to work because they would get the same amount for about 1 hour that they teach. So they expected what they get in for 1 hour. I mean, they were actually supposed to be working for about 6 to 7 hours. So they wanted to make sure that they get the payment which they are getting for 1 hour correspondingly. So 1 hour multiplied into 7. But for me, it was all about growth of chess. It's all about increasing the number of players in the state, in Bangalore. That is what meant to. That is what chess meant for me.
You mentioned schools. You mentioned the growing interest in players, youngsters. For in any sport, the support of parents is also support and encouragement of parents is also important. Over here, do you see some kind of rise in that line of thinking? I won't call it awareness, but an inclination towards chess more than cricket. I mean, we live in a country of cricket.
I'll tell you one challenge that we have. Let's say if I have 100 students here. Out of 100 students, actually there are only 10 parents who actually take the children to chess tournaments. The other parents, the 90 students' parents, how much ever the students are actually excelling and talented, those parents actually they don't want to sit idle, waiting for their children. This is a challenge that we're facing. The first thing that they ask is, will the will there be a van who can take? These are the kind of challenges that we face. Okay, so parents need to understand that they also need to contribute from their end to ensure that the children get better in chess. There are several exceptionally talented kids, and they are losing out the opportunities because the parents don't want to go or they don't have time. So this is the only disappointment, and hats off to all other parents who are actually committed in their efforts for having ensured that their children have come this far. So I've seen parents who actually learn chess to make sure that their children are, getting better at chess. So I've seen a lot. I'm someone who has been in the scene, in the chess scene since 34 years, non-stop. I've never taken a break. So I've seen thousands and thousands of people.
Do you have a good enough, a strong enough, or enough coaches for these kids?
20 years back, if you had asked, we were having very limited coaches. But today, what is happening is we have the advent of online training as well. And what's happening is you teach 1,000 children today. They grow up. Some of them go on to become quality coaches themselves. So that way the ecosystem expands. So this is one reason how these kids who we taught a generation ago, they went on to grow up and become better players, better coaches themselves. Furthermore, through online training, we have access to quality coaches.
Do the coaches have good enough incentives to take this up instead of working in an office?
Very much. In fact, when I started, I pulled out my group of friends, 4 of them, and made sure that they get to chess coaching, and they were able to earn so well that they were able to pay off their loans within 3 to 4 months. And to this day, they never quit chess coaching. So this was in 2006. It's been 20 years. And they say that following your passion is what matters.
Not a lot of people get the opportunity to pursue their passion as profession.
Yes. So they're all living comfortably today.
Now, you spoke about what used to be your goals or intentions. Now, a lot of that you have achieved. What are the things that remain to be achieved?
So one thing which was remaining to be achieved was to bring in as many titled players as possible, and I achieved that in January this year. If at all I had one more free day, I might have as well conducted a classical event. And I'm somebody who wanted to actually bring in innovative ideas into chess, and that is the reason I actually formed my own academy. So from the very beginning, I've always tried out, explored a lot of innovative ideas. Failure is not something which I fear, and of course sometimes the idea might fail, but that should not stop you from going forward. So that's how scientists go on to actually discover great things. They tried over and over again. So that's how you start analyzing variations and eventually come down to the right point. So this is the way I work. So if this does not fix, what is the way forward? I don't give up on that variation. I don't give up on that idea. So I try to make the idea work. So clarity of thinking matters.
What about having a grandmaster tournament annual in Bangalore? I mean, some cities have that. Chennai has started one, Delhi has one, Calcutta used to have one. There are a few, but
Yes.
not on a regular basis, not on an annual regular basis.
Yes.
In fact, the Indians, the top Indians who have achieved so much in the last few years, none of those achievements happen in India because those events don't happen in India.
Yes.
So
In recent years, you have seen that Bangalore has been having the GM events,
yes.
and for me,
But I mean a classical format open tournament. I mean closed tournament.
closed tournament is something which I can organize. But right now, I think there are certain restrictions with regards to the closed events, and once we get away from these restrictions, maybe I'll be completely open to organizing these closed events. In fact, now I'm planning to utilize my own academy to conduct events, closed events, which are not rated. The idea is to, right now, if you observe in Bangalore, the scene is such that the children are exposed to only rapid tournaments, not classical. So they're tuned to actually finish their game in about half an hour, which is not good. And post COVID, the entire generation of parents who actually got into chess, they're only being used to rapid chess. They do not understand classical chess is what is most important. So how do you make sure that classical chess is what counts in chess? You have to educate the parents. Unfortunately, we are in the world of online chess where we don't meet face to face. The impact matters when we meet people face to face. And it's very important for coaches and even the association to meet people face to face and contribute to the growth of chess in whatever manner possible. So, with regards to the closed events, I have one of my tenants vacating, so I'm going to convert this into a space where people can come and play. And this is from June. I'll be traveling this entire next month. So from the month of June, we'll be having about space for up to 40 players, and I'll be conducting a lot of internal closed classical tournaments where chess players can come and play. So the need of the hour is that Bangalore should be having many such centers. In fact, I went to United States of America and actually observed that there are so many centers which contribute to the growth of chess and a lot of ideas. They have an idea that takes place on Mondays. So every day on Tuesdays I have a classical event, on Wednesdays I have a rapid event, and so on, which continues for a month. So many such ideas are utilized across the United States of America. These ideas are certain things that I had in my mind, but I had not yet implemented because I didn't have the infrastructure at that time. I built the infrastructure in late 2019, November, and we ended up having COVID in a few months from that. So June onwards, I'll be back organizing a lot of internal events to push for classical chess in Bangalore.
Well, Mr. Reddy, thanks a lot for talking to us and wishing you the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.